This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good Friday morning to you. We are taking you outside, taking a beautiful look from our Wells Fargo Skycam. Loving that color. It's going to feel a lot like summer this weekend, and some of you might be thinking about cooling off in the water.
You know, it may not be what you or your kids want to wear, but if you're going to be in the water, right, this is what's going to save your life.
This morning, we're talking about water safety, and we've got Mr. Rod Hill taking a look at what you can expect in the forecast.
Also, lawmakers in Salem seem to have found a compromise to end the Republican walkout. We'll remind you why they haven't been showing up to work and how some senators are avoiding a 10th unexcused absence today. Plus,
if you had all the money in the world, what would you buy your mom for Mother's Day?
Chocolate.
Chocolate? All the money in the world, you're going to buy her chocolate? Are you buying that for mom or are you buying that for you?
Me.
Well, at least she's being honest, right? We asked these kindergarten kids at Kinnaman Elementary in Beaverton a bunch of questions about their moms. They responded with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me, Rod Hill. We have a new edition of Drew and You. We call this Drew and the Little U's, coming up at 5:15.
Yeah, Mother's Day coming up this weekend. Of course, happy Friday to you, and also a ton of hot weather, too.
Yeah. Now, the good news is I've lowered the temperature.
Yeah. Okay.
So my rhetoric was here, and I've kind of taken it down here. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. All right, we do have a heat advisory, and yesterday was an excessive heat watch. Please understand that's simply a matter of timing. As you get closer to events, watches can become advisories, et cetera, et cetera. So no longer any advisory out in the gorge. This is from the coast to the valley. But the coast temperatures don't look as toasty as I was one time thinking they would be either. We showed you this already, just beautiful clear skies awaiting us. We're about 44, 42 minutes away from sunrise. 55 is the early morning number right now. Here we go today, 71 degrees at noon, 86 at 5 p.m. The record today is 87. We may get there. Now, we're still expecting 90-degree temperatures both tomorrow and Sunday, and we'll get into those exact numbers in just a bit. Back to you.
You got it. Thank you, Rod. Breaking overnight, there was a deadly shooting in the Hazelwood neighborhood just before midnight. Portland police say a sergeant on patrol was flagged down at Northeast 122nd in Wasco. That sergeant found a man dead, and he appeared to have been shot. So far, no one's been arrested. We'll certainly let you know as we learn more.
And to the other big story that we've been talking about, really coming up all week, we're talking about the heat advisory that we're expecting this weekend. And it may seem like a good time to jump in a river or a lake to cool off, but first responders have a warning about how cold those rivers and lakes are right now.
Absolutely. This early in the season, that cold water can be a shock to your system. Devin Haskins is joining us live in the newsroom this morning. So, Devin, it is kind of tricky because the air temperature is so much warmer than the water.
Yeah, right now, as Rod just said, we're in the mid-50s, and then outside later this weekend, we're going to be seeing weather in the 90s. But just because it's hot outside, the water is much colder and can be closer to 50 degrees or sometimes even colder. So if you jump in, that could take your breath away. We know places like High Rocks are popular when it's warm out, but first responders are asking that you stay out of the water no matter how hot you get. Not only is the water cold, but it's also running fast and high. And you've most likely heard this before, but wear a life jacket if you do jump in. As for boaters, be responsible for yourself and your passengers and make sure you have all the safety equipment on board, and yes, that includes those life jackets too. We talked with Lieutenant Marcus Mendoza of the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office. He says be very careful, even just getting your feet wet, and he says do it in a safe designated spot.
Really, I mean, these are not late summer conditions. These are early season conditions. The water is really cold, it's moving fast, so we're just really asking people to use caution. If you're going to recreate in or around the water, please be aware that the water's cold. Be prepared, wear a life vest, and maybe reconsider what your plans are.
And it may seem obvious to say, but don't leave your pets in the car. It's something we say every year, but we also see every year. With temps reaching the mid-80s today and hotter this weekend, after just 10 minutes, that can raise the temperature inside your car by more than 15 degrees. And after 30 minutes, we're talking to a closer to 120 degrees inside that car. Now, both Portland and Vancouver have turned on their outdoor fountains, so if you're looking for a place to get wet that doesn't involve a fast-moving river, there are some options there. Drew?
All right, Devin, thanks for that update. We want to follow up your report. by mentioning that today through at least Monday, several local counties, including Multnomah, Washington, Clackamas, and Yamhill counties, have banned backyard burns. Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue, Canby Fire, and Clackamas Fire announced the temporary burn restriction yesterday.
If you're using a barbecue, make sure that it's away from your house and on a non-combustible surface, such as like a wood deck. Just try to make sure you're taking care of any embers, and if you can have a garden hose close by in case you need to use that, that would be great.
Again, the burn ban will last through at least this coming Monday, when high temperatures are expected to drop back below 90.
Other headlines we're following this morning. Southbound 99W is all clear this morning following a crash involving 4 cars and a motorcycle. This was the scene around 8:30 last night on southbound 99 West near 74th Avenue. Police say the driver of the white truck you're about to see was impaired, so they were arrested. Firefighters had to cut open one of the cars to get the people out. 3 people went to the hospital, 2 have serious injuries. 99W was closed for hours, but this morning it's back open. Nordstrom says rumors that its downtown Portland store is closing aren't true. Now, there may have been some confusion after Nordstrom announced it's closing its store in downtown San Francisco. It had been around for 35 years. A spokesperson says Nordstrom is not closing its Portland store or the downtown Nordstrom rack. And floor sessions in the Oregon Senate could resume on Monday if negotiations go well. GOP leadership announced yesterday they've made an arrangement with Democrats to suspend work until Monday. Republicans have boycotted 9 Senate sessions. They claim bills that Democrats sponsored on abortion and gun control aren't written clearly, and that's a violation of Senate rules. If Republicans don't get back to work, there could be consequences. A new law says any lawmaker with 10 or more unexcused absences can't run for re-election. Some Republicans have said that's unconstitutional, and they'll challenge the law in court. And those are some of your Friday morning headlines.
And this morning we are live at the Oregon Convention Center. Look at those Legos. Apparently that's the KISS stage with all the concert attendees, all those Lego people too watching. Okay, so we are at the Oregon Convention Center previewing Bricks Cascades. It is Portland's premier 2-day Lego event, and it is happening this weekend. Look at all those Legos. If you loved playing with those as a kid, you're gonna love this event. Visitors can participate in building competitions, games, workshops. We'll have more on what's happening here throughout the show.
I think KISS had a song about Legos, didn't they? Something about I want to rock and roll all night and Lego every day.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think I recall that correctly.
Yes.
You know, Rod, they should have a contest at that event this weekend. They should put a contest out there to see who can build the best Lego air conditioning unit.
There you go.
Because we will need more air conditioners
That'd be wonderful.
starting today through at least Monday.
You know, part of the problem is, you know, if you don't have AC, you want it to be cool at night, so you at least get that period of opening up the windows. But we could be looking at the warmest overnight temperature in the record book ever for the month of May.
Which is?
Over this weekend. That current record is 62. And that is something we could possibly break, meaning it would only be 63 or 64 for a low and not get down below that. All right, the heat advisory is what the National Weather Service has labeled our weekend. So there it is. This no longer includes the gorge. Again, it does include from the coast to the valley. But, I mean, the coast is going to be low to mid 80s at most, not 90s, okay? Here are my latest numbers, and they have either stayed the same in most cases or been lowered. I'm forecasting what the record is for today, which is 87. 92 tomorrow. The record is 92. I've not changed that. I've lowered Mother's Day down to 92. The record is 91. There's a low pressure system that's in Kansas and Nebraska right now that's going to be pushing and moving back to the west, which is really unusual. And it could potentially bring an increasing cloudiness during the day Sunday and lead to a thunderstorm threat as soon as Sunday evening. So keep your eye on Sunday. That forecast could change. And then that thunderstorm threat stays with us Sunday night into Monday. And because of that growing confidence, I've lowered Monday's high to 86 degrees. The record is 93. So remember, we had a heat watch that was posted for 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now the heat jargon is only posted for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday because of that storm threat. Okay, here are the numbers you will be likely experiencing over the weekend. Coast highs. Some spots only in the mid-70s, but warm spots that get more of an east breeze like Seaside could still be as warm as 82, 85 degrees over the weekend with full sun. Valley highs still generally everybody's expected to at least reach 90, could go as high as 94. The east winds start to pick up lightly today. I don't think this ever becomes windy, but certainly out in East Multnomah County and East Clark County, there could be some 20-plus mile-per-hour breezes at times. Gorge highs 84 to 90, Government Camp 75 to 80, Bend not bad, 79 to 84. There's the beautiful clear skies right now. 55 is the current number in Portland. It's cooler, 48 up in Kelso. It's 47 out in the Dalles, 46 degrees over in Astoria. Futurecast shows a little bit of low cloudiness this morning, then that's it, all sun. We did end up having some shower activity over the mountains yesterday, nothing today anywhere. So here are the numbers, 87 today, 92 both tomorrow and Sunday. The thunderstorm threat Sunday evening into Monday. A shower chance Tuesday, and then warming back up next Wednesday and Thursday. And that is your forecast, Mr. Carney.
Coming up next here, Rob, we're going to talk more about this day because this day is also Mother's Day.
What's something that really makes your mom angry?
When I don't eat her food.
Is there something about her food you don't like?
Yeah.
What?
I don't like peas.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like peas either. But what I do like are all the honest answers we got from the kids at Kinnaman Elementary in Beaverton. We asked them lots of questions about their moms, including a big one. What makes their mom the best? It's a Mother's Day edition of Drew and You right after this quick break.
We also want to remind you this morning that if you know about a story that we should tell or a person we should profile, let us know. You can text or call us at the number on your screen, 503-226-5088.